Today we wanted to talk about for home buyers or first-time home buyers, talking about understanding your credit reports. No?
Right, so we're going to break down how people can get ready for home buying when we look at credit reports. This is not about scores. Scores is going to be a different video. Really understanding how to read our credit report, what we can do to take actionable steps in order to get to those 30%, debt ratios and all of that stuff that sounds like mathy. So we're going to talk about what you can do, looking at other people's reports and saying, what is going to happen here? What can this person do?
Therefore, first, we need to know what is the credit report is, which is basically is a credit history which was prepared by the three credit bureaus. No?
Right.
Exactly.
And what does it include? It includes personal information like where you live, credit accounts, credit inquiries, and public records. So it's going to include quite a lot. And now we're going to break down 4 different people's reports, with actionable steps on what they can do. So if you are interested in that, just stay tuned to the channel. But first, let's do our intro. Let's hit it. Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel and podcast.
And if this is your first time on our podcast and YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and get notified.
Honestly, you can call us text all the time at 252-327-3357 when we love talking to you. Don't be shy. Also, don't forget our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below.
Exactly. The first scenario we want to talk about, Alex. Alex is born in 1994. And he lives in
a fictional town, fictional
address.
Okay, so this guy, let's talk about he has a decent job. He's a coordinator, which means it's middle, right? I mean, there's directorships he can grow, but he's lower to middle in his job performance. So let's just talk about his credit score.
Exactly. Therefore, he opened credit card in 2016, and his credit limit was $5,000, and the current balance of his credit is $4,500. And he had full late payment the last 12 months.
This guy already sounds like he might be a question. We'll continue going. Student loans, those feisty student loans that I hate. He got his account in 2015. His current balance is original balance was $20,000. He has been paying his student loans down because he heard people like me saying student loans are horrible. He's got it down to 15, so he's doing a great job there. He is consistently on time. What about?
And he has an auto loan from XYZ, for example, finances. He opened it in the March 2019. The original amount was at $10,000, and the current balance was $6,000. And he showed 2 late payment the last 12 months.
Those payments can be a problem. The other thing, he does have 2 hard inquiries, which means he actually applied for credit card applications in the past 6 months. This is a red flag as well. However, does he have any other issues?
About the public records, he doesn't have any bankruptcy or foreclosure or any other one.
Okay, so his problems are going to be his high credit rate, and those late payments.
High credit utilization.
Right, and his late payments. He is not probably going to be buying a house in the next... He can buy a house. Absolutely, everybody can buy a house, but it's going to take him... He needs an action plan for about 12 months. This is a 12-month guy. And we're going to tell you what he should be doing. He should be reducing his credit card balance. He should be maintaining...
Because the optimum is really 30%, and he is already getting to max out.
Right. So he needs to lower that down. He needs to maintain on-time payments, never forgetting that, and stop applying elsewhere. So tell us what he can do in the next 12 months, step by step.
Basically, the step-by-step of what he can do. The months 1st to months 3rd, he can focus on paying more toward the minimum of the credit debt and make sure, since maintaining it correctly without late payment. No?
Well, he's paying everything with the late payment, but focusing on that one credit card that has a high debt. So we want to pay that off while keeping the other minimum. What else? What should you do now?
Between months 4 to 6, we're talking about the second one, assess the progress of the reducing the credit card balance and continue with the basically payment to have the credit health.
Now in month 7, he's in a better place. Still not good because of those inquiries and those late payments of the past, but he can start saving for a down payment and continue paying down the debt.
Exactly. And months 10 to 12, which we were talking about, last stage, reevaluating the health and also considering seeking for pre-approval from a mortgage lender for the capacity of the purchasing a home.
Again, we're real estate agents and we love talking about this stuff, but we are not someone there. So, yeah, let's move on. Jordan is number two.
Jordan is number 2. He was born in 1992, somewhere in the United States. Now he's a software engineer at the tech company.
Right, so he's got a decent job. So let's just talk about his credit card. So he's got a credit card, Prime Bank. His credit limit is $10,000. He is a current balance is $3,000, which is pretty good. He has no late payments. Great there. What else?
Basically, a student loan, he is with the Edu Loan Corp, and he opened it in September 2013. And he has original loan amount of $25,000, and the current balance is like $8,000. He paid on time, but the balance reduction is slow due to the interest accrual.
Right. So auto loans is his third thing that he has. He bought this car in 2020. The original balance was $15,000. His current balance is $9,000. He's never missed a payment on his car, which is great.
And then he had one hard credit inquiry the last 12 months for a credit card application. As far as the public record, he doesn't have any bankruptcy or foreclosure and any other records in the public.
So this is almost good to go. He does have something he needs to work on. So we do say this guy's not going to be able to buy a home in the next 30 days, but he's probably going to be okay in 90 days. So, I mean, basically the only issue there is his credit card is at 30%, which is going to...
Therefore, he has a moderate utilization rate.
Right.
Yes. And also consistent but very slow.
Well, that's normal.
On the progress of the
So
balances.
what he needs to do is focus on his credit card, lowering that $3,000 and keeping it down. So you want to cut down on your non-essentials, allocate any extra funds to pay down that credit card, because that is his one thing holding him back. The other things are all perfect in order. He can probably do this in 90 days, even 60 days. But right now it means that, and he might even get a pre-approval based on this condition of he must do this one thing. So we have to make sure he is going to be buying a house that's a little further down the line, maybe new construction, just throwing it out there, but he needs to follow the plan. So this is a guy who's almost ready. He just needs to follow a plan.
Now let's focus on the third scenario. Is Sam. Sam, born in 1996, lives somewhere in the United States. He's a retail associate in Everyday Goods company.
Okay, so that's made up. So let's go with credit card. He has a high credit card problem. His first credit card that he opened in 2018, the credit limit is $3,000 and his current balance is $2,950, and he has multiple late payments on this credit card.
And then he has a student loan that opened in August 2014, has a loan original amount of $30,000, and now the current balance is $28,000. And he frequently deferred and accrued the interest.
Right, so he's not in a good place with student loans. Third thing, his worst thing, honestly, is those quick loan places, because he went to one of those places to get fast money in 2020. He took the balance of $5,000. The original loan was $5,000. His current balance is $5,000. And why this is a problem is it has super high interest rates and he has consistent late payments.
Exactly.
What else?
Therefore, based on the credit inquiries, he has 3 hard credit inquiries the last 2 years. But from the public records, he doesn't have any foreclosure or bankruptcy or any other records.
So Sam, in this situation, his problems are really going to be his debt to income ratio, his credit utilization, I can never say that word, his missed payments, and his deferring all those loans. So he is going to be on a 3-year plan. He's not going to get a pre-approval from any lender that I know of. He needs to really get his act together. And we're going to give you basically action steps this person might need in order to get himself in order.
The months 1st to 4th, really he needs to focus on the strict budget and expenses and prioritize essential expenses and minimize unnecessary spending that he had.
So pretty much he needs to move. However, we need to get rid of debt as much as possible. We need to stop figuring this out. If you have a house, you need to bring in people to rent rooms, because honestly, you are living more than you can afford. So we need to cut down any sort of expenses here. So first thing we're going to tell him is the first 3 or 4 months of your life for the next year is figure out ways to cut all of the expenses possible that you have. So therefore, you are actually figuring out that you actually earned this money, and now that money can be used for what you needed to do, which is pay off debts. You need to figure out a way to earn more money without getting that job. So we need to focus on understanding this debt is a problem. Focus on you need to come up with ways to live cheap so you can focus on that problem you have.
Exactly.
Then what?
Year 2 you wanted to go?
And then once you've gotten to the point where in the first 3 months after you've cut your expenses, pretty much month 5, I'm going to start telling you at this point, you're going to start calling creditors and trying to get those interest rates down. And your real focus on paying down debt is going to be number 1, getting rid of that quick loan thing, which is high interest rate, high loans. You want to just work on getting rid of that one. Call all of them, lower your interest rates, make monthly payments, start making those monthly payments, making the plan, but really, really focus on the worst of them, which is that quick loans in this situation.
And month 9 to 12 really for him is really a start making payment, even a small payment toward the credit card, and reduce the balance that he had and avoid any additional late fees that he had in the past.
The second year, now that he's doing this, because he had all those late payments, right? And it's a great thing that he's following this plan. So for the next year, what you need to do is continue making all those payments. Focus again on that personal loan. Get rid of it. Find if you have to get a second job, more side hustles, whatever we need to do that year to get rid of as much debt as possible, because that debt is drowning your your plans of the future.
Exactly. Month 19 to
3.
Year 3. Year 3 begin more significant payments toward basically a student loan, and while that you maintaining is still your credit payment on any other debt that you have.
Well, pretty much hopefully at that point you've already gotten rid of those debts and now you're starting to save money. So really that is the year to focus on your student loans and save money.
Exactly.
Because this way you will be ready.
Your any credit accuracy in inaccuracy has and continuous steady payment.
Right. So once you have all of that, then you will be good to go. It's going to take a while, but you can still buy a house. Absolutely. Now let's talk about the last one.
Last one we're talking about Emily. She was born in 1995, somewhere in the United States. He's accountant and Bright Future Incorporation, and basically she opened the credit in the bank May 2017. She had a credit limit of the $8,000, and she used $1,000 of it, and consistency paying on time, all of the credit.
The second thing is she does have a student loan in this scenario. September 16, 2016, is when she took the loans. The original amount was $22,000. She has been paying this down. She has it now to $8,000. So amazing job, Emily.
Yes, and then the car loan. She had a car loan from June 2018, and then original amount of the car loan was $12,000, and current balance is $4,500, and she consistently paid on time all of the car payments.
Right. So again, she does have one. For her credit inquiry, she did have one hard inquiry 24 months ago when she bought her car. So there is one on her record, but we also know that it's attached to a debt that is now there that she's been paying very regularly.
And then she doesn't have any bankruptcy or foreclosure or any other public records.
Okay, so this lady, she is amazing, right? So she has healthy credit. She doesn't have she has all on-time payments. She does not have any red flags. Any loan officer is going to want to work with Emily in this scenario.
And the utilization of her credit also is low. She's trying to keep that under the 30%. Therefore, what is the best way for her?
So pretty much at this point, she is ready to talk to us as her real estate agent. She is ready to talk to how to best to get pre-approved, because this lady is ready financially to be a homeowner. Exactly. So we got, just so as a caveat, we did get all of these credits from, I asked ChatGPT to give me 4 different credit reports based on common scenarios that we get. Obviously, these are not real people with real credit reports. We don't have access to real people, and it would be illegal to share someone's real person. So we just asked ChatGPT to make up some issues so we could focus on some fun stuff.
Exactly. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to call us at 252-327-3257. and also write us comment on YouTube and podcast. We'd love to connect with you and hear your voice. Thank you.